When we allow God to be our only refuge, we discover that we are stable. At least that's what we find in Psalm 62, 1 and 2. According to David, the author of our passage this morning, he is a man who really knew what it meant to fully trust the Lord. So listen how he speaks of his trust in our passage. So let me just start with verse number 1, Psalm 62, verse number 1, and then I'll read also verse number 2. It says, "Truly my soul waiteth upon God. From him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved." Wow. I mean, if the first few words, he tells us where the best results flow from. And it is tough. It's a hard one for us. Waiting on God. I don't know about you, but I'm not good at waiting. But David states that it's his experience with waiting that has brought about God's rescue and his plans into place. The word for salvation here is rescue. So if you hear me using the word rescue, I'm really talking about that word salvation. He's not speaking of New Testament salvation in Jesus. And because we don't like to be kept waiting, we don't get his best for us in the waiting. Now listen, in the waiting, he keeps us on a sure foundation, a point that is safe where he defends us. It's a place where we aren't moved much. David is giving us the best advice we could ever hear in our fast-paced, we want everything now kind of culture. So I don't know what you're facing that seems incredibly urgent, but God does. He knows what you're facing. David faced enemies, and he faced a demon-tormented king, and God brought him through it. And so he can honestly say that he had come to trust the Lord even in those weird circumstances, even when he seems to be running late. In fact, when God seems to be running late, that's the best time for you to be willing to wait. He is your rescue. He's your rock. He's your defense. Who will overthrow God? And so while you're thinking that through, he tells us to wait on the Lord. David says waiting on the Lord has always brought him the very best results. And so not only is God his rock, he's also the rescue, he's the defense. And when we stand stable or stand faithful in him, we find our greatest stability. I hope that helps. Enjoy a great day.